thanks to the support as a channel member, Andrew Mayo. Yeah, I know I said I'd be properly suited and booted from now on, but it's over 30 degrees here today. I cannot wear a jacket in this heat. I'll melt. Quite frankly, I think asking me to put my chest hair away is harassment. Hello and welcome to part 55 of the Greek Odyssey. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you. We're at home against Olympiacos in the league and then away against LOLLUJO in the second leg of the first knockout round of the Europa League. Since you were last with me, a lot of stuff has happened, not least of which I finally have my second PC. I'm working on the two PC setup with the Go XLR and all the other fancy stuff. I've had to move the cameras around to accommodate it all. So this one's now here. This one's pretty much where it was before. If there's any teething problems today, that is why. But I think I've got it all working beautifully. And hopefully this should really be able to help me ramp up the production type stuff. Hold on, why is this? Some of the columns are going to be wrong because I'm now playing on a 4K monitor. The videos are still going to be 1080p, but I'm going to have to resize a few bits like I've had to do there to fit it all in. If that ends up causing problems, if things seem too small, let me know down in the comments, and I guess I can downscale the monitor or do the videos in 4K. Option one is probably better. But these are all the games we've played since you were last with me. As you can see, we're still a very good football team. In the Super League, this is where we are. We're top of the league, 1 point clear of Olympiacos. No games in hand for anybody now. So if we can beat them today at home, not only do we continue our unbeaten start to the season to 25 games, but we'll also finally start to open up a little bit of a gap between us and them and open up a 4-point lead at the top of the league, which will be huge. Europa League going less well. LOLLUJO are in the Bulgarian First League preliminary phase. I think I've got the Bulgarian leagues loaded. I have, because it's one of Greece's neighbours. So they're 6th place in the Bulgarian league. And the Bulgarian league is not as good as our league, according to this. Bulgarian league is the 23rd best league. Our league is, I think, 12th and rising. Yeah, 12th and probably expected to push beyond that this summer as both us and Olympiacos continue to do well in European football. But we really, really struggled in that first leg. Ended up 1-1 going into the final 5 or 6 minutes when channel member Kieran Blavins turned up and scored a very important winning goal. But we were behind in that game for nearly half of it. We really struggled, and we need to do a little bit better in this second leg coming up today, or our European adventure could be over before it's even really begun. The other thing that has been going on is transfer stuff. I haven't played this save for nearly a week at this point, so I'm trying to remember if we have any transfers lined up. It looks like we've got a couple coming in. If we have a look at the ones coming in, so we've got Pepe coming in from Real Madrid, or Castilla, I guess, because he never actually played for Real Madrid. But his current value, okay, his estimated cost was 12 million when he was originally scouted. Current value obviously dropped down massively because he's on his way out of Real Madrid. He is an attacking midfielder, which we don't really need, but he's natural in central midfield as well. And I'm thinking he's an option to come in to replace Duffy when Duffy's not here. We could go with Pepe alongside some combination of Cordoba, Bozic, just an extra body to have around. He's only 19. You know I love an extra body. And then we've also bringing in Erwin Bentracourt, who is a 21-year-old left winger. Yes, I know, another one. But again, I'm looking at resale value for this guy. He's at Juventus at the moment. To be able to have players coming in from Juventus and Real Madrid on free transfers, even if they never play, they're players that we can sell on for a profit and continue to help our bank balance. Because although we've got this Champions League money that we brought in at the start of the year, because we reinvest so much of it in our infrastructure, we've got the new ground being built, we've got training facilities, youth facilities, all that kind of stuff. We're forever reinvesting our money. We're not actually operating on a particularly generous balance at the moment. So being able to bring players in with a view to selling them on, certainly until we move into the new ground, is a way for us to stay sustainable when there's not as much money flowing around the place. But enough of all that. Let's get into the Olympiacos game. And this is the team we're putting out there for that match. We're going with, I forgot we actually made an actual signing as well. Probably should have mentioned this. They were the transfers that were pre-arranged. You can tell it's been a while since I've played. We've had goalkeeper changes. We've sold Mendy for $1.5 million to some club I've never heard of. I think they're like a new gen club that I've never heard of. But we replaced him with a football manager legend, Mils Vila, 25-year-old Portuguese, not yet international, but I've played plenty of FM, probably FM19 more than FM20 saves, but I've played plenty of football manager saves where this guy's ended up as a top Premier League goalkeeper. He's been to Chelsea, Manchester United, various other clubs. Yes, we've spent £5.5 million on a goalkeeper, but I do feel like it's a goalkeeper that is going to be around and about the place for a while. 25 years old. Yes, theoretically, star rating wise, he's only 2.5 star current ability with 3-star potential. But I think you have to take the star ratings with a pinch of salt here at Apollon at the moment because of Damien. Damien is he's a good Premier League player. Damien would walk into, I mean, I don't want to say he'd walk into the Manchester United team, but he's got 25 goals from 21 games, averaging an 8.28. He's made his England debut. Southampton want £100 million for him, and he's made his England debut. Damien is good, but the problem with Damien is it then wrecks the star ratings for the rest of the squad because it really downvalues all of them. It does mean that when you've got someone like Cordoba, who's on 4.5 stars, you realise just how good he is. Calapitas has been doing a little bit of a Mick Powell just lately as well, and at one point he was showing us 4 stars. He's back down to 3.5 stars now, but Calapitas is having a bit of a resurgence. We turned down a £20 million offer for Calapitas in the transfer window from, I think it was Valencia, wanting to give us £20 million for him. So we're no longer selling the ones that we don't want to sell. We're only selling the ones that we're deliberately bringing in to sell on a profit. Things are looking very good here at Apollon. Now let's go beat Olympiacos. So we're going with Svilar in goal, a back four of Pinheiro, Michaelis, Lawson and Juan, Bozic at the base of the midfield, Duffy and Cordoba ahead of him. And this is still only a temporary measure to keep Bozic playing. He's 21. He was a wonder kid. I don't know if he still is a wonder kid. No, but we just got to keep him in the team. And I know it's at the expense of Lebrou, but eventually it'll be Bozic and Cordoba with Lebrou behind, almost certainly. For now, Bozic still has to play, so he can play there. De La Vega and Marola are going to be supporting Damien up front. Let's get into the game and let's hopefully secure a victory over our big rivals, Olympiacos. This is the big one. This is where we find out if we're as good as we think we are. Form standings have them second, us first. Let's show them why. You know what? Let's show them why. Let's show them why we're the 2 best teams in Greece. Let's go and put on a show. There's 10 points between Olympiacos and Ike, who are the... Oh, my word. Hold on. We've got to move some things around here. Again, this should be the last time you ever see me have to move this stuff now, theoretically, because I'm not going to be moving between different monitors or resizing the monitor. For the first time since I've been doing YouTube, I'm now playing on a full-screen monitor, full-screen game. So I'm not constantly playing in different sizes of window to be able to operate around it. So hopefully you'll never see me have to move that stuff again. I'm probably being a little bit wishful with that, but, you know, fingers crossed. So Juan plays it to Bozic. Bozic back to Juan again. Juan playing it forward, looking for the run of De La Vega, who can't quite get there. And the Olympiacos defender clears, but only as far as Pinheiro, who wins the ball back nicely, finds Duffy, and then at the second attempt finds Bozic, who's trying to play Marola in. Damien's lurking in the middle. He finds Damien, who gets the shot away, but it's immediately blocked by the Olympiacos defender. But that was a nice little bit of attacking, pressing play there. The way we won the ball back midway through the move was lovely. And there's the corner aimed for Damien, but headed just over by our England international striker, who he's in his final days at the club. It's late February now. He's going to be gone by June, and realistically, we're never ever going to get him back. So we'll enjoy him while he's here. What we won't enjoy is being 1-0 down against Olympiacos. For them to be the ones who break our long unbeaten run, it would sadden me. So hopefully, this is just one of those goals that wakes the team up. We're now going to ask for 10 minutes of passion, and we're going to try and force our way back into this, and at least get a draw and keep the unbeaten run going. A draw keeps the unbeaten run going and keeps us top of the league. A defeat hands top of the table back to Olympiacos. We're now demanding more, and we might have to go to our 4-2-4 that we've used a couple of times and really go at them and attack. But there's Cordoba. De La Vega's in. Is he onside? The linesman's kept his flag down. Referee, keep your nose out. The linesman kept his flag down. His flag is still down, referee. Keep your nose out. It's none of your business. Trust your linesman. Okay, he's offside, but still. Well, 1-0 down at half-time means Kev is not a happy bear. We're going to get aggressive. We're going to ask, where's your passion, lads? We've got some frustrated and anxious players in there, but you know what? You'd be less frustrated and anxious if you scored a few more goals. We've scored 82 goals in 25 games this year. Score more goals. We're demanding more again, and I think now is the time to switch the system up and get Feliciano on, who the episodes have finally caught up with me recording them, so I now have seen everyone frustratingly say Feliciano every single day. So I now know that's how you say his name. So let's make him the advanced forward. Damien can be the complete forward. We're going to go to an attacking mentality, and we're going to make Cordoba just on a support instruction alongside Duffy. But we've got to go for it. Half an hour to go. We at least need an equaliser. That change gives us the best chance of trying to get one. And it's Olympiacos with the goal kick, so hopefully this is coming straight back at them. Marola nods the ball down to Feliciano, who's turned and run and finds Damien. Damien's in here, and Damien scores! And there you go. Quick tactical change, and Damien has his 38th goal of the season in all competitions. It's only February. Let me know down in the comments, what are your personal records for goals in a season from a striker? Damien's on target for like 60 goals this year if he stays fit and stays in form, which I know is easier said than done, because we saw last year he fell out of form towards the end of the season, which is fair enough. But he's having the best season of his Apollon career, and there's another goal to add to the collection. Right, we're going to take off De La Vega and bring on Sanchez. The other thing that I've noticed from allowing the comments to catch up is there's been a little bit of frustration with the signing of Sanchez, because we had Paniolis, who's a similar kind of current ability player to Sanchez. My argument for that is that Sanchez is better than Paniolis. Paniolis has played more games and played more than 6 games for us over the years and never come close to scoring 3 goals and getting 2 assists in them. So sometimes, although it's nice to prioritise the Greek players, we've got to remember we are also trying to win stuff. So as much as we want to build a future for the Greek national team and the Greek leagues, I think the best and the quickest way to do that is to make the league better by having us and Olympiacos and everybody else performing well in Europe. And the better the league gets, the higher the quality of the new gens gets. And that will help us bring more Greek players through in the long term. Forcing someone like Paniolis into the team when he's not good enough, that's to me, that's quite short-term thinking. And we're in this for the long haul. Right, we are going to take Duffy off and bring Camera on. Just swap those two over. Camera can be the box-to-box midfielder then. And we are staying on the attacking instruction. We want to win the game. I think we're good enough to win the game. We want to win the game. And there's the goal, and it's Damien again. And it's number 39 for the season. And now we are going to edit that tactical change, because we probably don't need to leave 2 up front. Although, that being said, I'm not going to take Damien off. And I can't exactly take Feliciano off. Although, to be fair, he can play in central midfield. So we can still make the same change and do this. But now, rather than bringing on Camera, we bring on LeBrew. And we just drop back down to our positive mentality. He can go back to being an advanced forward. And we'll make that change instead. See? Tactical thinking. I know I'm such a grown-up when it comes to Football Manager now. Well, I've just smacked my heel into my chair leg. And that really hurt. In the same sentence, I'm such a grown-up. I am, however, going to cry on camera. I've just really done an ouchie. Oh, that really hurts. Goodness me. This never happened when I was wearing a tie. Right, Damien, red card. Surely a red card. Damien's in and through on goal there with his pace and power. And they just couldn't cope with him. And that is a red card. So we're 2-1 up against our big rivals. 7 minutes to go and they're down to 10 men. Michaelis finds Pinheiro, who does well to pass the ball to Cordoba, who doesn't do as well with his aimless lump forward. And LeBrew needs to do a little bit better there. He's our defensive midfielder. He should be intercepting that pass. And it was like he was leaving it for someone else to get. Luckily, Pinheiro is excellent. and wins the ball back. Ball over the top for Damien, who is now in to complete his hat-trick. It's Damien. It's number 40 for the season. It's Apollon 3, Olympiacos 1, and we're still unbeaten. Remember, take all this with a pinch of salt. It will not be this way next year because we're losing 3 key players, Damien, Duffy, Lawson. None of them will be here next year. But this is a super team here in Greece. And I will miss having all of these wonderful players all together at the same time. But what we've got to do is make sure we make the most of them being here. So let's win the league again. Let's win the Europa League. Let's win the Europa League, which means we have to go and beat Ludogorets now. So 2 changes for the Ludogorets game. We've got Kalapitas coming back in at right back. LeBrou coming in at the base of the midfield. 2 homegrown boys coming back in to try and get us through a tricky potential Europa League banana skin after the way the first leg went. Why does it look like the pitch is frozen? Bulgaria is not a cold country, is it? Ah, wrong button. I was aiming for pick up where you left off. I've told her to go and have fun. Who can have fun on a frozen pitch in a tiny ground? It feels very banana skinny here tonight. We don't want to mess up. This is different to last year's Europa League. Last year's Europa League, we got loads of easy games. It's actually snowing. We got loads of easy games and kind of made it through without playing anyone any good until right near the end. This year, I genuinely feel like we should be one of the better teams in the tournament. And now we've got snow and ice to handle, which, I mean, I'm wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I wasn't prepared for this, although it is helping me feel a little bit cooler in this very hot garage. And Damien, 41st goal of the season. That is a very important away goal and hopefully enough to just take the edge off. I was a little bit worried. It was a little bit banana skinny, as mentioned. I think that's he's just tidied the banana skin up, put it in the kitchen bin, lid down so it doesn't like stink the house out with mouldy banana when you don't change the bin for 3 days. Yes, I'm a lazy monster. Can't do that this time of year though. You'll get flies. Learned that the hard way. Bananas are banned in my house at the moment. It's too hot for bananas. And why am I talking about bananas? Genuinely, it's the heat. I think it's 31 degrees outside now. If you're not in the UK, if you don't use Celsius, Google is your friend. It's warm. And I know some of you will say, I live in Texas and it's 120 degrees here at the moment. Yeah, but you live in Texas. You're used to it. I live in England where 18 degrees is considered quite a warm day. And this is absurd. It's too hot and we're not equipped for it. We don't have houses. Our houses are built to stay warm, not to stay cool. We don't have air conditioning as standard. It's hot. Damien's injured. We've got to take him off. He's fed up of hearing me talk about the heat. A potential thigh injury. Feliciano can come on. There's no point taking any chances with Damien. I was just saying in the last match, as long as we can keep him fit and in form, well, I'd rather keep him fit in the league and win the league again than risk him when we're already in a dominant position in this Europa League game. It's more important that he can live to fight another day, and thigh injuries are not to be messed around with, because if it's a hamstring thing, that can get bad quick if we don't just get him off there and pack him in ice. I mean, let's face it, he can just sit on the floor. It's not as if we need to go and find a bag of ice for him. Just, Damien, go and sit in the snow, rest your legs, you'll be fine. Right, don't get complacent. It seems the team talk we did pre-match was genius. It was a stroke of genius on my behalf. Very proud of myself for thinking to come up with taking the pressure off and just telling them to go out there and enjoy themselves. It's that kind of outside of the box thinking that makes me such a successful football manager. We've given the ball away there, which is true. Was that LeBrou again? I'm trying not to write that boy off. If he hadn't have been, people say I don't give the youngsters and the homegrown players enough of a chance. If LeBrou hadn't come through our youth system, he'd have been gone a year ago, because he's not developing as fast as he needs to keep up with the club. I have to add that proviso, because I mentioned the other day he wasn't developing, and obviously he is, but he's just not developing as quick as we thought he might. Like, he's not developing at the same pace as Ryan Lawson or Damien was. But whenever he plays, he just looks a little bit dodgy now. We saw in the Olympiacos game that he just let someone run straight past him when he should have been in there getting the tackle in. And again there, it's just sloppy from LeBrou, and he's not going to get away with it. Right, De La Vega's going to come off. We'll bring on Sanchez again. Sanchez is a weird one because when we signed him, he wanted to be an inside forward. He can use either foot, but looking at how he's developed since he's been here, it looks like he's actually more of a winger than an inside forward now. So let's make him a winger, I guess. Doesn't hurt to have a winger up there, that's for sure. We'll leave LeBrew on for now, but if he makes another mistake, he's coming off. Let's just check the weather report. Heavy snow. It is -6 degrees. Like I said, I'm not an expert on Bulgaria, but I've got the league loaded because it's relatively close to Greece. Greece is a hot country, isn't it? Do you get -6 in this part of the world? Crazy. Anyone from Bulgaria in the comments? Let me know. Is it realistic to have that temperature in Bulgaria? Right, there's no one to come on from Marola, so we will take LeBrew off. Camera can come and sit and play at the base of the midfield there. I think we've probably got this wrapped up. Is that LeBrew making the slow walk back? Is that him? Why is he... Why... I clicked on an advertising hoarding. I've never done that before. I've done it again. Go away, advertising. That is LeBrew. I know we're about to score a goal. I think it is going in. But I kind of want to watch LeBrew just walk around the pitch. He's not even celebrating. Look, he's heard what I've said about him. We're running towards him, and he's still just got a grump on. Just walking around the pitch. All right. Dionysus, is that his first name? It's something along those lines. And let's have a look at the goal from the other angle. We'll zoom out a little bit. Calapitas crossed in. Feliciano's there. I didn't actually see it first time round because I was too busy watching LeBrew and his walk of shame. I hope he used that time to think about what he's done. Right, Marola brings the ball down nicely from that goal kick. Ball over the top for Feliciano to chase. He's got, who is that up supporting him? That, I don't even know who our number 7 is these days. But there's Claudio Sanchez. Goal number 6 of the season for him. I say again, that's why we signed him over the top of Paniolis, because we knew how good he was going to be. And Paniolis wasn't going to be that good. And like I say, you can't prioritise them just because they're Greek, especially when I'm already doing that experiment with LeBrew and really forcing it with him, trying to keep him in the team. I am starting to feel like he's going the way of Luris, though, who I forced for longer than I should have and ended up having to give up on. And it might be time to drop LeBrew and maybe try and force Blavins for a bit, who is, I mean, he's shown some, he scored in the first leg against this lot. Gashed leg for Damien. Don't sit in the snow, it's going to go pink. But we have got past them. Do we know who we're playing in the next round yet? Do we know when the draw for the next round is? Let's have a little look. Second knockout round draw is tomorrow. Let's go straight to the draw then. Here we go then. Draw time. So Juventus and Bayern Munich are in it. And both us and Olympiacos are considered the little team. So Olympiacos did finish third in their group in the end, which again is good. I want them to continue charging through this group. So 16 teams to draw. There's lots of big teams in it. We want to avoid them as much as possible. Things aren't seeded anymore. There doesn't look like there's an easy game in there, though. This looks very different from what I remember it looking like last year. Everyone's looking at us thinking, yeah, we'll have a bit of that. Wolfsburg, I guess, or Everton. We just got to see what we get, haven't we? We don't want Bayern. Bayern and Arsenal facing off is good. We don't want Olympiacos. They got the easiest draw in there, I think. Porto, I think we could probably take Porto. No, Fiorentina's another one I would have liked. Lyon, I don't really know. I guess if we're going to have a French club, Marseille are likely to be not as good as Lyon. And they've got each other. Of course they have. So left in this, Juventus, Monaco, Sevilla, Everton, Lazio. I'm not really confident with any of them. We'll take Everton, please, I think, or Lazio. I mean, I don't even know who they are. Never heard of them, but I imagine we can't lose to them in a European game. Juventus, Everton. So we've basically got a bye to the next round against a team that I'm fairly confident doesn't exist. I wonder what it's like playing Lazio in a European game. This is going to be an entirely new experience. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.